Hello, Josué, welcome.
¿Sí se me escucha bien?
Yes, sí te puedo escuchar bien.
Ok, si ves que me salgo de clase es porque ya valieron los datos. Así que,
So, are you using your internet from your cell phone?
yep,
Okay, I
I am
got it.
fixing the Wi-Fi. I don't know what happened with this.
Okay,
Probably we
okay.
have to pay.
Come on. Okay, so when is your pay date?
I don't know. I will ask to my father.
Ah, okay, okay. So, but maybe that's the problem. I don't know. My internet was having problems also before. Well, before starting this class, I was having problems with the internet.
But in my first class, I was having problems too.
From university? Oh no, from
No,
Código,
for
right?
Código.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
boot camp. Okay, so we are waiting for your for your classmates. It seems they didn't know about the class.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay,
So
and
I will fix this
okay,
problem. Uh,
okay, you can fix it. I don't know. Daniela already read it. Also, you and the other person. I don't know who's the other person. I guess it's Leslie. It's Leslie. And the other are sleeping now. Well, I don't know.
Probably because it's Monday.
Yay, it's Monday. Okay. And how
And
was
we
your
are so
weekend? How was your weekend?
tired, tired.
Really? What did you do?
On Saturday, I went to the cinema with my family.
Okay.
After that, I visit my family in San Salvador. I slept in San Salvador. Sunday, I came back to Sonsonate, and I was working with my dad. And today, I was working too. For that reason, I feel tired, but I think I am good. I believe.
Okay, but well, you got a busy weekend. I can see that. I can see that. But well, thank you for being here, Jose. I'm sorry, we'll activate my camera now. Let me see.
Then don't worry.
Yeah, it's working. Okay, so Josue, thank you for coming on time to our class. We have to start, okay, and practice our English. Today we are starting level pre-intermediate 2. So, well, let's start with our business. Let's start with our activities. Today we will study, okay, remember the last some of the last classes that we had in pre-intermediate 1 was about comparatives. And we also were talking about superlatives, but we have something really fast talking about superlatives. Today, we will talk about this, okay? So before we start, hello, Fernando, how are you?
Not bad, teacher.
Not bad. Okay, that's something really good from you. Okay, I'm really happy to listen to you. And well, Fernando, thank you for coming. Okay, as you see, our classmates are sleeping today because they are not here. But thank you to Josue and Fernando for coming to our class. Before we start, everybody, as you see, okay, our activities are mainly about describing movies and series. So we will focus on this. So right now, before we start, let's check our question, okay? Tell me, guys, what's your favorite kind of movies or series? So what kind of movies or series do you like watching? What about you, Josue?
My favorite kind of movies. I think like Marvel's movies.
Oh, so they are action movies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Action
so
movies.
do you like all kind of action movies or only about superheroes?
Only about superheroes.
Okay, well, that's something nice. And who is your favorite superhero?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Why?
Because the movies of it's only about magic and something like that.
Okay, that's something great. Well, I have never thought about it, but that's something interesting. Okay, magic. Do you like Harry Potter?
No,
Well, it's
no.
similar. It's similar because of magic, but okay, you don't like it. Well done. Okay, thank you, Josue, for sharing. And do you like also, well, do you like series about superheroes also?
Not really. I didn't have time to watch series. I prefer to watch movies because I know that it's 2 hours, 1 hour.
And series are a little bit long. Okay, so I got it. Okay, I got it, Josue. Thank you. Well, let's listen right now to Fernando. Thank you for sharing, Josue. What about you, Fernando? What kind of movies or series do you like? Or what's your favorite kind of movies and series?
Uh, well, I don't watch many movies, but I like see action, adventure, and animation movies like Batman, but in animation,
Ah,
nor
okay.
no not real people.
Not in live
And
action. Uh-huh.
yeah, sometimes I like to watch comedy.
Okay. What's your favorite comedy movie? Do you have a favorite one?
Uh, in English, I don't know what is his name, but in Spanish is Son como niños.
Oh, well, that's a great movie. Okay. So in English, you can say grown up.
Grown up.
Grown up. So very good.
It's like
Okay. Yes,
in
Hernando.
Spanish. In
Well,
Spanish, what is
uh,
it?
oh, remember that when we are talking about the title of a movie, we don't really use translation. We use interpretation because, well,
Yeah,
in Spanish we have this movie. I don't remember the name. Ah, Mi Pobre Angelito. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
and in English, the movie is not My Poor Angel. That's not the movie in
Yeah.
English. The real name of the movie is Home Alone. So as you see, we don't use translation, at least in the titles. We don't use translation, but we use interpretation. Okay.
But in this case, what is the mean the grown up?
Grown up
O
is
sea,
like, if you translate it in a literal way, it's los crecidos. But
okay.
in as we know, okay, so that is not a good name for a movie in Spanish. So it's better to use son como niños, right?
Yeah, I
I
understand that.
Yeah, okay. So it sounds better. Okay, it's because of sounding better, I guess. It's more interesting if you say son como niños than saying los crecidos. So los crecidos it doesn't sound like an interesting movie.
Okay.
Okay, but that's a great movie, Fernando. I really like it also. Okay, so that's a great comedy movie. And do you like series, Fernando?
Serious. In general, I see the Japanese series like anime.
Ah, okay. So okay. So what's your favorite anime?
And this moment, I like the Tokyo Manji. Se llama. It's was
Okay.
name.
Is that a new one? Is that a new series?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because I don't remember about it. Okay. So I remember about some animes I watched with my brother when I was a kid, but I didn't remember
Yeah.
about that.
Tokyo Revengers.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Ah, the Tokyo Revengers. Okay. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. Okay. I will try to watch it. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Luis and Daniela, welcome. Okay. Welcome to the class. Okay. And also Alfredo, welcome to the class. Luis, tell me, what is your favorite kind of movies and series?
Hello, Christian.
Hello.
Well, I don't have a favorite. I like let's see. In series, I like comedy a lot,
Okay.
and
Continue.
for movies, like I think science fiction.
Okay, very interesting. Well, what kind of comedy series have you watched?
Right now, sorry, right now I'm watching The Office. I have watched
Ah,
Parks and Recreation, and I don't remember any other at the moment.
parkour. I only remember that. I'm sorry.
Oh
I
my God,
remember that from The Office. So that's something really funny. Okay,
it's
so
pretty good.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so that's a great series. Nowadays, I guess it's kind of many people is watching that series. So it's interesting. Very good, Luis. Thank you for sharing. What about you, Daniela? Hello, welcome. Okay, what kind of or what is I'm sorry, what is your favorite kind of movies or series?
Hi, my favorite movies and series are romantic comedies. I love,
So romantic comedies, right?
yes, 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 yes.
Well, that's something interesting. So what is the last romantic comedy that you watched?
Mm, I don't remember her name. I don't know. In this moment, I don't remember. But in English, I don't know how say in Spanish is bajo el mismo techo, algo así se llama.
Bajo el mismo techo. Okay, I don't. Well, I have never listened about it, but it
I,
sounds interesting. Okay, so I watched, or well, I want to watch. In better words, I want to watch. I don't know if it is a series or movies, but it's called in Spanish is Una vida en un año, I guess. In English, I mean, I guess it's a life in a year. So I'm not pretty sure, but well, it's kind of it's kind of interesting. So TikTok show you a lot of things about the series or movies. I don't know what it is. So thank you for sharing, Alfredo. Hello. What kind of movies or series do you like?
Um, the kind of movies that I prefer is the science fiction movies.
Oh wow,
And
that's really good. Uh-huh.
series, I think the same kind of the same science fiction.
Okay, and do you have a favorite science fiction movie?
Yeah, I like to watch the all the Star Wars movie.
Star Wars. Do you like Star Wars?
Yeah, a lot. And also I like to watch Star Trek. That is other type of
Good.
movie.
Okay, well, that's another good one. Well, I never watched Star Trek, but I watched Star Wars, some of the chapters. So they are also interesting. Well, as you see, today's class, it's a little bit about movies. So we will try to practice talking about them. So to start with today's class, let me share my screen. To start with today's class, well, I was talking to your classmates, to Fernando and Josue, that in before we finish level pre-intermediate 1, we were talking about comparatives. But in this opportunity, we are going to have a short review about comparatives, and also we are going to talk about superlatives. Okay. My favorite movie is Crazy and Stupid Lot. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Daniela. Okay, that's I don't remember that movie, but I will try to watch it. Very good. Remember, guys, this is a very short review about comparatives. So to start, please listen to Fernando. Fernando, help me reading this information. Okay, the ticket about comparatives.
Okay. Um, sorry, es que estoy en el móvil y se me mueve todo.
Okay, okay.
They are used to compare two things, people, roles,
Ve-
short adjectives, uh, add er than long adjectives, add more plus adjective plus then. Someone else? Okay, the sections. Guess I irregular verb, right? Or no?
Are
No.
adjectives.
Okay. Good, better, bad, worse, far, farther or further, creo que dijo.
Yeah, very good. Farther or further. Well, as you see, okay, we have this important information that we already checked. Remember that when we are talking about short adjectives, we have more rules. But in this opportunity, okay, the general rule is ER and then. And the long adjectives, yes, for most of the long adjectives, we use more adjective and then. And then we have the sections. Okay, now we have over here two pictures about two movies. We have Encanto and we have Turning Red. Have you watched Encanto? No, yes, yes, okay.
Not really.
Have you, not really, okay. Have you watched Turning Red? Yes, no, okay, yes, okay. So this is my opinion about the two movies. Maybe you have a different opinion and it's great. Okay, no, there's no problem. Now, let's listen to Daniela and please help me with help me with the first example, okay? Example number 1 about Encanto and Turning Red.
Encanto is funnier than Turning Red.
Very good, thank you. Remember, this is my opinion, okay? So, in my opinion, guys, Encanto is funnier than Turning Red. I don't know. I don't like the idea of a girl that a girl becomes a red panda. I don't like the idea, so I prefer Encanto in that case, okay? And also the music of Encanto, I think it's better. Then, okay, we have the next example. Also, remember, it's about Turning Red and Encanto. Please, Alfredo, help me with example number 2.
Turning Red is more boring than Encanto.
Very good. Okay. As you see, we are talking about movies. How many movies are we talking about, Luis?
We're talking about 2 movies.
Very good. We are talking about only 2 movies. Remember, something important about comparatives is that we can use comparatives only to talk about 2 things or 2 people. If we are talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 10, or 100, no comparatives, guys. We can't use comparatives. But in that case, everybody, if we are talking about 3 or more, we use superlatives, okay? Right now, everybody, let's pay attention to the information about superlatives. Please pay attention to Malcolm. Hello, Malcolm, welcome. Okay, read this information.
Okay, hello, thank you. Superlatives. To describe something as being of the highest degree or extreme. The top of the top. Matrix is the most exciting sci-fi movie. Subject plus verb plus the plus superlative plus complement.
Very good. Thank you for reading, Malcolm. Okay, as you see, everybody, we have an example about this. So Matrix is the most exciting science fiction movie. And this is the structure that we have to follow, okay? The most important thing about superlative is to use the and the superlative form, okay? Similar as comparatives, they have or superlatives have different rules, and we are going to check the rules in a moment, okay? But first, remember this: superlatives describe something as the highest degree or extreme. In this case, guys, in simple words, we can say the top of the top. This is the top, everybody. That's the top. So superlatives are the top of the top. And there is nothing else higher than the top. There is nothing higher. There is nothing more extreme than the top. Okay. So when we are talking about superlatives, we can mention three. We are talking about 3, 4, 5, or more objects or more people, but we are only mentioning the top. So there are many science fiction movies. For example, Matrix, for example, Star Wars, for example, Star Trek, for example, I don't remember this one, for example, Harry Potter. So many movies. There are a lot of movies, science fiction movies, I'm sorry. But Matrix is the most exciting. I don't care about the others, but Matrix is the top. Okay? Now, let's continue and check our superlative, the superlative rules. Let's pay attention when we are talking about short adjectives. Please, Daniela, help me with number 1 and number 2.
Okay. Number one. Can I don't listen you.
Oh, read the rules.
Okay.
Number 1 and 2.
Okay. To form the superlative, we add est to the end of the adjectives. Fast, fastest, short, the shortest, slow, the slowest. And rule 2, if the adjectives ends in E, add st. Close, the closest. Large, the largest. And brave, the bravest.
Very good job. Thank you, Daniela, for reading. Well, as you see, there are two important things when we are talking about superlatives. Let's see, Alfredo, what are the two important things when we are talking about superlatives in short adjectives?
Could you repeat the question?
The question. Okay. Yes. What are the two important things we have to use in superlatives?
The word the and add the est and the end of the.
Okay, very good, Alfredo. Excellent. So there are two important things, the and est, depending on the rule, of course, okay? Remember, this is for short adjectives. If we are talking about superlatives in short adjectives, so the general rule is to add est. All the superlatives in, well, short adjectives in superlative form finish in est. We only have to remember what's the correct use of the rules. So as you can see in this, it finished in E, so we only add st. It finished in E, we only add st. It finished in E, and same we add we add st. Okay, so now let's go to the next rules, number 3 and 4. Please help me with this, Fernando, number 3 and 4.
Okay. For some adjectives ending in Y, remove Y and add IEST. For example, funny, the funniest. Easy, the easiest. Crazy, the craziest. or craziest. Number 4, for adjectives ending consonant, vowel, consonant, double the last consonant. For example, big, the biggest, hot, the hottest, wet, the wettest.
Pretty good. Thank you.
And the last one, I guess, it have an error in the first word, double T.
Yes, you are right. Okay, I'm so sorry. My mistake. Okay, my fault. Okay, it's done. Okay, now, as you can see, everybody, we have to follow the rules. In this example, okay, example number 3, same as in comparatives, when the adjective finish in letter Y, we have to use, or we have to change letter Y for a letter I. And then we use EST. So as you can see, we have funny, the funniest, easy, the easiest, crazy, the craziest. Then, well, for the adjectives, remember the same rule, consonant, vowel, consonant. We have to double the consonant. So the biggest, the hottest, the wettest. Okay, remember, well, we have to practice to remember all the rules, but remember they are similar as comparatives. Okay, same as comparatives, we use the same rules. Okay, now let's pay attention to rule number 5. Remember that we were talking about short adjectives. Now let's pay attention to long adjectives rules. Luis, help me with this one.
Superlatives, rules for long adjectives, 3 syllables or more. Use the most before the adjective to form the superlative. Entertaining, the most entertaining. Boring, the most boring. And comical, the most comical.
Nice job. Okay. Well, in this part, there is an exception, as you can see. Boring. How many syllables does boring have, Luis?
2 syllables.
2 syllables, and the rule says 3 syllables. But remember, when we don't have a letter Y at the end of the adjective, so sometimes we use it with must, or the must, I'm sorry. So it continues as a long adjective. Okay, let's see the next rule, and I guess this is the last one, okay? Please help me with this one, Fernando. Read rule number 6, the exceptions.
Okay, rule sections number 6. These adjectives have an irregular superlative form. Column first one. Adjective adverb, good, well. Comparative, better. Superlative, best. Bad, badly. Comparative, worse. Superlative, worst. Fart, farther, further. The farthest, the furthest. Little, less, and least.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm having problems with the computer. Okay, so as you see, everybody, when we are talking about exceptions, we have adjectives and adverbs. In this case, we have, well, the only 2 adverbs that we have, or the common adverbs that we have, are well and badly, and it's about the way we do something. For example, I sing well, or I sing badly. So the way we do something. But when we are talking about adjectives, as you see, the comparatives, exceptions, and the superlatives, also exceptions, are this one. So we say the best. If we are talking about, well, in this case, about movies, so there are many movies. There are a lot of but we are talking about only the best. So the best movie is, or I don't know, Harry Potter is the best movie. So it's just an example, guys. I don't know, okay? So that's an example of the best movie. Maybe you can tell me about the worst. And then remember that far, it's mainly to talk about distance, and little, it's, well, it's the opposite in this case of the most. If we say the least, we are talking about the opposite of the most. Okay, now let's check. Okay, we will practice a little bit about the rules and a little bit also about some sentences talking about superlative form. But now let's move to our activity. Let me share my screen with you, and then we practice. Okay, according with the rules, we have to follow and complete the next exercise. Please write the superlative forms of these adjectives. As you see, we have an example. Can you see my screen? Yes. Yes. Okay. So as you see, we have an example, and it's about poor. The superlative form is the poorest. Now let's complete the next examples and follow the rules that we learned today, or that we studied today. Please help me. Well, in this moment, I will show you the examples. Let me see. Okay, so we can see 8 examples. And think about what could be the correct form. Okay, let's start and complete the adjectives in superlative form. Please, Malcolm, tell me, what do you think is number 1?
Is youngest.
Okay, very good. The youngest, like this?
Sí,
Yeah.
superlative.
Yes, superlative, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Now let's check our next example. What do you think, Alfredo? What is the correct form of sad?
The saddest con double D.
Oh, double D. Why double D, Alfredo? What do you think?
I don't remember well, but I don't know if because have one vowel between two consonants.
Okay, great point, Alfredo. And yes, that's correct. Okay, since we have consonant, vowel, consonant, and it's one syllable adjective, so we double the last consonant. Okay, thank you, Alfredo, for it. Luis, help me with the next one. Remote. What do you think is the correct adjective?
The most remote.
The most remote. Okay, thank you. Let's see now. We have smelly. What do you think? Let's see. Daniela, what do you think it's number 4?
Is smelliest.
The smell. What is the end of the adjective?
Is I-E-S-T.
I-E-S-T, the smelliest. Okay, very good. Thank you. Now, Fernando, what is the superlative form of bad?
The baddest with double D.
With double D. Okay, thank you. Let's see now, please, Luis, what is number 6? Amazing.
The most amazing.
The most amazing. Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Okay, tell me right now, Malcolm, what's number 7?
Prettiest.
The prettiest?
Sí, the
What is the ending?
prettiest.
What is the ending?
Sorry, I,
I.
ES.
Okay, IEST. Very good, Malcolm. Thank you. Let's see now, please. Fernando, what's number 8? Flat.
Mm, the flattest
The flattest. Like this?
with double T.
Oh, with double T. Okay, like this?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Alfredo, what's number 9? Short.
The shortest.
The shortest. Thank you. Thank you, Alfredo. Daniela, what's number 10? Exciting.
The most exciting.
Okay, the most exciting. Okay, very good. Now, let's check together the answers and check if they are correct or not, okay? Now we have, let me see. Okay, we have 9 out of 10. There was only one mistake. Let's check together, okay? As you can see in this example, we have the explanation. Because of time and because we know the rules, we are not reading the information about it. Only in the mistake, yes. In the mistake, we are reading the information. Okay, so number 3 correct, number 4 correct. Number 5, the baddest is not correct. So what is the correct answer, Fernando?
Yes, irregular adjective is the worst.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so it's the worst. That's right, okay? And we have the rule over here. So please, Malcolm, help me reading the rule.
And the baddest is I can say it, irregular verb. It's a irregular.
Yes, it's an irregular adjective, okay? Irregular adjective. So very good. Okay, read the rule, please.
The adjectives good, bad, and far are irregular. Their comparative forms are the best, the worst, and the furthest.
Very good. Okay, so remember, that's the only mistake we had. Remember that bad is irregular, so we say the worst. In comparative, we say the worst. In superlative, the worst. Okay, very good. Then it's, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are correct. So that's for you, everybody. Okay, remember, we got a 9 out of 10. Okay, let's continue practicing and check if we can use correctly the superlatives in some sentences. Okay, in this moment, let's check, let's check what is the correct form. Please, Daniela, you will be my first volunteer. Tell me in example number 1, which is, okay, planet from the sun. What is the correct form? The farthest, the most far, or the farthest?
Wait a moment. The C, option C.
The farthest. Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's see, Malcolm, what's number 2? The world lives in Indonesia. What is the correct answer? The oldest man of, the oldest man in, the most old man of. Hello, Malcolm. Okay, help me please, Alfredo. Number 2, what is the correct answer?
mm, I mean that the correct answer is the letter B.
Letter B.
The oldest man in the world lives in Indonesia.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Now, Luis, what is example number 3?
My two sons are good at football. Are good football players, but Jason is the best.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Jason is the best.
The best. The
Like
best.
Messi. Okay, very good. Thank you. Now, help me with the next example. Fernando, what is example 4? It was the most happy, the most happiest, or the happiest?
It was the happiest.
Letter C?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, number 5. Please help me with this one. Malcolm, are you there? Yes. Hello, Malcolm. Okay, maybe he's having some internet problems. Daniela, help me with number 5, please.
Option I, the tedious.
Oh, the thinnest act.
I.
Yeah, yeah. Letter A.
Sorry, A. Yes.
Okay, very good. So letter A. Thank you. Let's go to the next page. Remember, we have 2 pages about this. Okay. Now, Alfredo, what is example number 6? Last summer was season in recorded history.
Last summer, the letter A. Last summer was the driest season in recorded history.
Letter A. Alfredo, letter A? Yes?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No. My mistake is letter C because we changed the we changed the letter Y.
Very good. We changed letter Y for what letter?
For the vowel I.
For the vowel I. Very good. Okay, thank you. Let's go. Well, let's continue with number 7. 10 years than my wife. Okay. So what is the correct option, Daniela? I'm 10 years oldest than my wife, the oldest than my wife, or older than my wife?
The oldest than my wife.
The oldest than my wife. Are you
Yes.
sure?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Tell me, Luis, what's number 8?
The most important.
Complete example.
He is the most important person in my life.
Thank you. Number 9, Alfredo, what is number 9?
Is the letter B. Our graduates earn the highest salaries in every U.S. state.
Okay. Thank you. And the last example, okay, let's do it together, okay? So I want to listen to all of your answers. That was moment of my life. What's the correct example? The saddest, or the most sad? So letter A, B, or C. What do you think, Daniela?
B.
B, okay. Alfredo, what do you think? Letter A, B, or C?
I think it's the letter B.
It's the letter B, okay. So what about you, Luis? What do you think? Letter A, B, or C?
I think letter B.
Letter B, okay, so 3 people. Fernando, what do you think? Letter A, B, or C?
Yeah, letter B.
Letter B, okay, so everybody says letter B, okay? Extra homework if it is incorrect, okay? So let's check, everybody. Okay, let's check all the answers and what's our result? Okay, we have 8 out of 10, so 2 mistakes, everybody. But let's check, okay? Let's check together what are the correct examples. Number 1, correct. Number 2, correct. Number 3, okay. In these examples, guys, remember that when we are talking about 2 objects or 2 people, we always use comparatives, okay? Even though I could say, guys, it's okay, no problem, because the activity says superlative, not comparative, okay? So the activity, we can say that 2 sentences filter comparatives, okay? Because the 2 mistakes were comparatives, okay? So let's check. What's the rule? Please help me with the rule, Fernando. Read this part.
Okay, we use the superlative to compare 3 or more things or people. If we compare 2 things, we have to use a comparative adjective.
Nice job. Okay, thank you, Fernando. So as you see, everybody, if we are talking about 2, use comparatives. If we talk about 3 or more, use superlative, okay? And it's the same with the next example, example 7, okay? I am 10 years older than my wife. What do you think is, why do you think, Alfredo, it's older and not the oldest?
Because we compare, I'm compare one person to the other and use this words then.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so we use the word than. Very good. So yes, number 1, we are comparing 2 people, me and, in that example, my wife or her wife, his wife, I'm sorry, in that example, okay? And the other thing, as the rule says, we use a comparative adjective, more or er, before than. So now we have, in case, not in case, but in our next exam, in the platform, maybe you will have kind of these examples or similar examples like this, and you have to use the correct form, if comparatives or superlatives. Remember, 2 important points that you have to remember is, if we use than in the example, comparatives. If we are talking about 2 people, 2 objects, 2 animals, 2 movies, 2 music genres, so we use comparatives if it means 2 or if it use than, okay? So as I can see, okay, we use superlatives very well, okay? So continue practicing, okay? In the following days, we will continue practicing sentences, and as you remember, we have to describe and talk about movies, okay? So we will do it in our next classes, but now we have to go to another important activity. And what is the next activity? It's our homework, okay? Remember, guys, that we are starting, today we are starting a pre-intermediate 2, well, level pre-intermediate 2. So please do your homework, okay? Practice, okay? Do your activities. If you didn't finish the last level, please do it, okay? Si no han terminado el nivel anterior, háganlo para que tengan todas sus actividades completas y sobre todo tengan su certificado, okay? Si ya lo hicieron, pues, don't worry, start pre-intermediate 2 and complete the following activities, okay? Since we are starting pre-intermediate 2, we have to start the unit in 1.0. And let's try to do the next activities, vocabulary, a video, and finish in grammar 1.2.3, okay, 1, 2, 3. So finishing that activity for tomorrow, and well, tomorrow we will continue practicing a little bit about English, okay? So guys, it was a pleasure to see you today. Please continue practicing and have a good night, okay? I hope to see you tomorrow.
Okay, good night.
See you.
Night.
Good
Bye.
night. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.